What up, guys? Today I will talk about fear. What fear is, how to overcome it, how to encourage it, and how to turn it into successful work. Because fear comes hand to hand with our minds and our lives. And if you have no control over your mind, you have no control over your life and your success. So today I want to drop you on my guide how to overcome the fear, how to encourage it, and how to turn it into most successful work. So first, what is fear? Fear is our natural instinct. It's our survival instinct. Our mind never works to its maximum. Our body never works to its maximum. In our daily lives, when we think we're actually doing something, when we think we're using our maximum, we're using about 60-70% of our true potential, because our mind is protecting our body and our overall, our whole body, our mind, everything, so we don't overwork, we don't overdo. It better procrastinate and stay in that comfortable space and actually change something, because it might endanger us. So fear, it's a natural instinct, and nowadays people are so afraid to ashamed that they're fearful. Being fearful, it's not bad. It's important how you react to those emotions, and you can react to those emotions in a good way or in a bad way. Because without fear there's no success. If you're fearful, if you're ashamed about your body weight, you can go hit gym and you can change and get your dream body, or you can keep being ashamed and just stay in that place and keep getting worse and worse and worse. And that's what everything. If you're ashamed of being broke, you can encourage that fear and turn it into a successful entrepreneur. If you're ashamed of being with bad acne or anything, there's always something to upgrade. So you can either be ashamed and run from that fear, or you can face it and turn it into something better. Okay, so this is my plan, so don't mind it. Understand what you're passionately running from, and face it. Ask yourself these questions: what I'm truly running from, what I'm truly fearing, what I'm ashamed. Once you realize what you're ashamed of, what you're running from, you have to ask these next questions: why am I fearful? Why am I ashamed of that? Why am I running from that? You have to realize, why are you truly running from that? What is poking you? And because that helps us to take the next step and set like a plan, or realize what steps should I need to take in the further direction, in order to change, in order to overcome that fear, in order to face that fear. Maybe you're unconfident, then there's some steps you can take to get bigger confidence, to up your confidence, to be more socialized. So you have to realize what steps you should take in order, like, as honestly as possible. And once you have those steps, you have to play the game, because you got the rules now. You got the moves now. You have to start putting the moves in your daily game. And that comes to our third point: implementing the fear in your daily basis. I have this saying: you have to realize, if nothing changes, nothing truly changes. If you won't change anything in your daily basis, nothing will change. Let's say again, you're unconfident. If you don't talk to people on your daily basis, if you're scared to make conversations, if you're scared to socialize, you won't get any better confidence. You don't have to take these giant steps, but you have to take these baby steps. Let's say you're unconfident. You can start talking low. I'm not saying like these giant conversations. No, just good morning, good night, how are you, how was your day, did you do the homework, did you do that, did you do that. You can slowly up your confidence. Then you maybe can start talking to other gender. Maybe if you're a boy, you can start talking these little conversations with other girls. If you're a girl, you can start talking these little conversations with other boys. Then you can move up. Not talking, just jumping in that dating space. No, slowly building up their confidence, and finally you will jump in that dating space at some point. But if you don't implement that fear in your daily basis, nothing will change. Nothing will change. You have to realize that in order to change something, you have to actually change. You have to actually change something in your daily routine, in your mind. Everything comes from our minds. And my 4th point is placing your fear in God's hand. You have to realize that some fears maybe you cannot overcome. Overall, God will help you with any fear you got. If you can humble yourself, you can be honestly as possible. Pray to God. Cry out in prayer purely with all your heart. You drop your heart in that prayer. You say, Lord, I cannot do this without you. Jesus Christ, please help me. Please help me overcome this fear. And if you place that fear in God's hand, in his higher plan, he will help you, and your life will change to positive side so much more, because you have to realize God is key in everything in this life. So you have to place that fear in God's hand, and he will save you. Because when we were kids, we were playing around, we were getting getting in that mud and all those wet places. We came home dirty like a pig, and maybe your mom was a little angry, but she never said, you're too dirty, you won't get in the shower, go away. No, she made us a warm bath, a warm shower. She cleaned us with soap, and we came out clean like a little angels. And that's the same with God. He's waiting for you to come back. He's waiting for you to stop being ashamed and coming back to him, because he will hug you with open arms. He will say, I love you, I'll forgive you, and I will clean you. And he cleans you every single time, and you come out perfectly fine. So stop being ashamed. If you're ashamed, to yourself, at least stop being ashamed to God. And my 5th and my final and the most important point is, you have to realize you're living this life for no other but yourself. Stop caring. Stop fearing what others think. Stop forcing things that others think are great, but you don't agree with them. If you're doing something just to fit in, don't do it. Don't do it. I have this. That's why I have this written in my page. It's better to be looked as weirdo if what you're doing truly makes you happy. You're living this life for yourself, for no other person but yourself. Well, no, except God, but you're living this for yourself. You're not living this, if you want to dress how you want to dress how you want to dress. If you have this unique style, do your unique style. You have this unique voice, use your unique voice. You have these unique hobbies, use your unique hobbies. You don't live this life for others. We all have one life on this world, so you have to love yourself enough to be able to change and to be able to understand it's not always about others but about yourself, because others obviously don't love themselves enough. All they do is spend their lives based on other people's opinions. You have to live your life for yourself. And if you can realize this, if you can truly realize this and start living your life for yourself and not caring what other people think, your life will change drastically. Trust me, bro, trust me. Because all we do in these social media pages in our daily lives is trying to chase other people's opinions. We're trying to chase those looks. Oh, he got that, yo. No. Live your life for yourself and not others. And I promise your life will change. Drastically. So if you can follow these 5 steps, I promise you, your life will change in just 1 month. Just 1 month. Because my life changed, my friend's life changed, my other friend's life changed, my other friend's life changed. And if I can change your life through this screen, I'll be so thankful. I'll be so thankful. That is my goal. That is my goal. So please help me change your life and trust these goals. Trust these settings, these points. Realize what truly fear is. Realize what your fear is, why you're running from this, and set these honest steps. How can you overcome that fear? Implement that fear in your daily basis. Put your fear in God's hand and realize you're living this life for only yourself. And if you can follow these 5 steps, I promise you, your life will change drastically. Stay safe. May God bless this week, this month, this year. May we all get this year full of self-improvement, success, and getting closer to God. Peace out, G's.